What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 15th day of December. Here we are sitting at about $1.90 with about 42 minutes left in this day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are. Higher lows on XRP. I can't believe that we've actually dropped this low, but with Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything else dropping, I suppose it's okay, right? If XRP was dropping by itself, then it'd be a little bit concerning. But the fact that we still have higher lows, the fact that the rest of the market took a little bit of a lick today, I think it's okay. Plus, it's the beginning of the week, right? It's Monday. I like it whenever we start off weeks to the downside. Typically, when you start off weeks to the downside, you finish them to the upside. Typically. Not always, but it's like a superstition, right? It's a superstition that typically works. We can observe this, right? I didn't mean to go into this, but let's just get into it real quick. We can observe this because how many of these weeks that are green have wicks to the downside? Well, to get a wick to the downside, you have to open up the week to the downside. It's Monday. What better of a day to make to leave behind a wick than on a Monday? And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you continue to push higher. Saturday, Sunday as well. Most of these green candles have wicks below them. That's all I'm trying to say. Most of the red candles have wicks above them. That means at some point the price went the opposite direction at the beginning of the week. Not always. Sometimes you don't have that big of a wick or any wick at all. But typically. Anyways, 1 hour time frame here, zooming in, looking at this. We did drop. There was some scary volume, but it really wasn't that much volume. You guys, I'm telling you, with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, with everything that we're seeing, the amount of volume that happened here, it's not going to take much to come back up. This is no more volume than we saw on this drop, but that drop was a lot less significant than this one. No more volume than we saw here on this pump, right? Like, we're just doing the same stuff that we've been doing since the 21st of November. That's all. 1 hour time frame, looking at the indicators here. What's the same thing we're doing, in case anybody's wondering? The same thing that we've been doing since November 21st is choppy sideways price action, up and down and all around. Every pump gets dumped, every dump gets pumped. RSI at the lowest levels we've seen since the last big dump. Now, when we pumped, was it immediately thereafter? No, it took about a day or two, and then you moved up. But still, you moved up. You're at these low levels here in the RSI that we're at now. Stochastics are oversold. The MACD looks bad, but I mean, in all fairness, we do look like we're pretty oversold. We do look like we're ready to reset ourselves and move up higher. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a very similar reaction to this right here. Like that's what this is. Right? By the end of Tuesday, we should, or maybe by the end of Wednesday, we should be back well above $2. That'd be my guess. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, zooming out a little bit. The 4 hour time frame here has broken down. Man, I really cannot believe. Like, you really threw me off for a spin here, man. I really thought this was bullishly implied. I really did. But here we are, down nonetheless. And on the daily time frame, by the way, we still maintain this bullish divergence. But anyways, we'll get to that. 4 hour time frame here, lower lows. You broke out of your trend, unfortunately, to the downside. And we've reset. Again, we're at these very low points in the RSI that we don't typically go to, but in recent history, we have been here a lot, actually. I say we don't typically go here, but again, since like the end of September, it's been pretty common for XRP to actually see these sub 20 readings on the RSI. We don't normally go this low, but here we are yet again. And typically these moments have been accompanied by lows in the price, right? Here, that was a low. We moved back up in exactly the same for. This is actually the exact area that we compared it to, right? Back here at a low point there. Back here at a low point there. Did we go lower? Sure, but we went back up still, right? Back here at a low point there. We went lower, but we still went up. I don't think that we go lower. I don't think that we go lower in this low, and I do think this is a higher low. I do think we move up, and we continue to move up from here. But at the very least, some type of recovery should be expected at $2, right? Stochastics, there is bullish divergence on the stochastics. And then on the MACD here, no bullish divergence. The MACD and the RSI look really bad, man. Honestly, they do. But if we look at this on the daily time frame, you do have this double bullish divergence where from this low back here, we have lower lows. And then from this low here, we have higher lows, right? And I didn't draw the straightest line, but you can see here in the RSI, you can see low, low, low. Higher lows all the way through. And not every single one of these lows. Some people might say this isn't bullish divergence. I don't know. I think these lows stand out enough. I would say it is. I like that you're bouncing right off the oversold zone too. Typically, XRP, regardless of getting in or out of the oversold zone, it does like to bounce actually like right here, right at this level, like right here where we are here. It makes a lot of sense to me that we'd bounce right here, but we could go a little bit lower. It's important to be open-minded to that. We could go a little bit lower. But what XRP is setting up for here now, if it goes a little bit lower, if it bounces right here, whatever, you're getting set up for a W-shaped recovery. And this is something that we talked about. Now, I didn't forecast this. We expected that you'd move up from here, not down from here. We got it wrong. I got it wrong. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I got it wrong. But we did say, on the positive note, if we did break out to the downside, we'd at least have this double bottom setup, in which case we might have a W. And if you have a W, typically where the nipple is, where that center point is right there, when you break above it, you go not to where the W started, but above where the W started. So if you have a W pattern, typically it ends like this. It won't typically end like this, below where it started, or even at where it started. So if this is a W, and I feel like it looks like one, maybe it looks more like one on the 4-hour time frame. Maybe it's more obvious, right? Is that more obvious? I don't know. Assuming we move up from here, we don't move down. Then, in theory, once we get above this point, $2.29, we should be, quote-unquote, safe to assume that our move will take us above 256. And likely we stop here in this zone where we found resistance before, where we found support before, somewhere there around 260, 280, up in that area. That makes sense to me. If this is the low, if this low today is the low, that's right around your golden ratio at 260, right around your 1,886,200 level at 273, 280. It's a perfect area to go to. It makes a lot of sense that we go up there. 4-hour time frame. Bullish divergence on the stochastics is probably the only positive thing really to go off of. Daily time frame, again, double bullish divergence on the stochastics. And you do have bullish divergence on the MACD, to be fair, as well. So bullish divergence on a few different indicators on the daily time frame. I guess every indicator on the daily time frame. I don't think that we're going lower. I think this move here happened with very minimal volume. On the 1-hour time frame, if you're looking at the short-term stuff, you'll be like, wow, this was tremendous volume. But really, you look out, it's really not. It's actually really not. It's just more of the same BS. That's all it is. Daily time frame makes it even more obvious. We're at a low point here, guys, in volume, right? Right, you're at a low point. Imagine here, you've got these lows in the price, and we did not analyze this properly, but this was a descending triangle, right? It wasn't perfect, but it was a descending triangle. Whenever you broke out was when you were at your lowest moments in volume. That's where the breakout happened, right? Here we are, and we broke out to the downside. I'm not expecting that we break out to the downside. I do expect we break out to the upside. Here we are in this consolidation phase down here, right? Lowest points in volume. We're going to break out one way or the other, and I think it'll be the other very soon. We look at the weekly time frame, right? This consolidation phase that we've been in, we know that it's coming to an end because the volume is checked out. It's gone. Next move is higher. Should take us to new all-time highs. I think we will see prices that are above $10, $13 to $17 sometime in Q1, if not Q2 of 2026. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.